Original.
Hello, and welcome to Webcrawlers. This is our mailbag episodes where we play your voicemails, and boy, do we have a lot of them. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stetton.
And I'm producer Maria.
Do we have any more reviews?
I think we do.
Ooh.
This one is from Griffin the Griffin. This is a podcast, and it is good. I cannot tell you what the podcast is about exactly. Just trust me. You will enjoy it.
That's honestly the perfect review. I can't tell you what it's about either, to be honest.
This is from the Neighborhood Superhero. Did I read this Not a Spider-Man podcast?
No, I think I sent it to you guys because I thought it was funny.
This is not a Spider-Man podcast. It's still pretty good, though. Also, has anyone even heard of Anteater? I've heard more about Polybius than Anteater. Come on, Maria, try again.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's...
Wow.
Look, you're coming for me. It's a really good game. It's called Anteater, and I hold the world record.
Here's one called Good and Also Great by Noctifer42. It's a good show, good hosts, pretty good producer. Anything that Munderscore works on is amazing, and I've followed her for years. Melissa has been a solid follow also for years, and her insight on weird online trends is invaluable. Melissa also has the cutest professional friends, meaning your kitties. Add in some Allie with her fearless positivity. And you get a great time listening to friends, delving into all of the mysteries that you didn't know you needed to know about.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
You got one from Canada.
Oh.
This is from Dan Parkinson. 5 stars. Listen now. You need to do this. It will change your life. Have you tried web crawlers yet? Seriously, listen. Listen now. It will literally change your brain chemistry. It did to me. I never remember dreams, except finally a few days ago that all changed. I remembered a dream where I met Allie's famous, questionably, brother. He's been in TV and movies and stuff, I guess, and had a chance to speak with him. Instead of asking about what it's like to work with Kristen and Mila or Doogie or the Muppets or some other insane garbage that would normally come out of my mouth, my first words to him were, "Your sister is badass and awesome. Is she here?"
Oh.
But it's a lot of exclamation points and question marks. Like he yelled, "Is she here?" He then spent the next several minutes looking very uncomfortable as I gushed about how great her podcast and art and humor and Twitter feed and dogs and everything else is, and how great it must be to get to be her brother. How their parents must be so proud to have such a talented daughter. Allie, did you write this?
Are you Dan Parkinson?
I swear to God, no.
I then asked if, since I hadn't seen him in anything new for a while, he was going to get Allie to coach him back out of his apparent slump. I woke up at the instant he was throwing a punch at me. That is what listening to web crawlers will do to your brain. Subscribe,
Can you
get the
screenshot
Patreon.
that for me, please?
I'm not wrong, yes.
That's amazing.
I would Venmo that person money for that review.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wee wah.
Wow.
They're not going to think that way after they listen to that episode I just recorded.
I still regret that one time I saw your brother at some restaurant, and I was going to go up to him and be like, "Oh my God, are you Allie's brother?" Because I'd never met him. And
You
I was
totally
like, no,
should have. That would have been so
no,
funny.
I don't want to interrupt.
He knows who you are anyway.
Should have done it. Okay, should we get into these
We might as well, I guess.
voice
Yeah, let's do it.
mailers?
Hello, this is a message for the web crawlers. My name is Nathan from North Carolina. I was just listening to one of your mailbag episodes about synchronicity. I just have a couple or 3 quick instances I want to tell you about that I had with like some synchronicity or simulation or other dimension sort of things. So the first one was, so I work as a delivery driver, and I was listening to this podcast, and you guys had went to, I think, an alien con, and were talking to someone about them getting abducted.
Yes.
And so I was just listening to that. I was like in the middle of that interview, and I arrived at a business office, and I obviously got the podcast, go into the office, and they have this TV that's showing, like, it scrolls by with, like, business words and definitions. It had a word and definition. I was like, okay, interesting. And then the next word that comes up has the word alien in it. I don't know if the word was alienation or maybe some sort of like business word with alien in it, but like I stopped in my tracks and I was like, what the fuck? Like I was just listening to a podcast about aliens. I was like, huh. All right, that's really fucking weird. A second instance actually happened today where, again, I was driving around for work and I see a big like van with a company like Massey something. I don't remember what the company was for, but it made me think, I'm like, oh yeah, I used to go to high school with somebody whose last name was Massey, and I was up with them, and I was like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. And then I'm listening to your, I think it was Circleville Letters episode, where the lady who was a bus driver was having an affair with a superintendent of the school whose name is Gordon Massey.
Right.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, they're spelled differently from the one that I saw in Gordon Massey's
Gordon Ramsay.
last name, but I was like, that is so fucking
Idiot
weird.
sandwich.
But the last one I want to tell you about happened when I was in high school. I think it was 2010 or 11. And I was listening to the song called My Darling by Eminem on repeat, nonstop, on the way to school, on the way from school on the bus. And one day I was listening to it on the way to school, and all of a sudden, for some reason, the song like slowed down, like almost by half for whatever reason. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, because you know how you can change playback speed sometimes on, iPods and stuff.
I think there's a part 2.
Hi, this is a message for the web crawlers. This is Nathan from North Carolina. Again, my last message got off like right at the end of my last story. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ramble for so long. But yeah, so I was checking to see if the playback speed had, like, if I pressed the button where it changed the playback speed, and I didn't. I listened to a different song. It sounded normal, completely normal, regular playback speed. I listened to another different song, normal playback speed. But ever since then, that song, My Darling by Eminem, has sounded extremely slow. So I don't know if, like, the simulation changed or
I have a
it's
story
a
about
different
this.
reality as to where the speed of that song is different. It's always freaked me out, and I've never had, like, any sort of explanation for it. Maybe I was going crazy or I am crazy. I don't know. But I just want to say I love the podcast. You guys are amazing. I've probably heard about this podcast from the big ones. I heard the big ones from probably Matt Gorley on Pistol Shrimps Radio. I love Pistol Shrimps Radio. I love the team. You guys are all amazing.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, again, thank you guys so much for everything you do. I've been having some tough times recently, and listening to you guys has helped me a lot. It's made me feel like I'm listening to just some friends talk about a bunch of crazy shit. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Bye.
That's nice.
That's super nice. I have a literal story about this where I almost went crazy the other night. So I saw Escape Room Tournament of Champions, the newest escape room movie, in theaters. Okay. Then I rented it the other day on DVR or whatever it's called on
Was
demand.
it good?
It's fine. Like, it's not a great movie, but I
Right.
watched the same horror movies over and over again. It was a different movie. It was the same movie, the same title, but the whole movie was different. There was different characters. There was like a whole different B subplot. And I was like, I'm going crazy. And because this had just happened we were talking about us with another episode where I was convinced we did an episode on something, but then we didn't.
That family that
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, did I not see this movie in theaters? Like, what's going on? Did I imagine seeing it? And this is my first time seeing it. How am I remembering two different movies? Anyways, I tweeted it. Then someone tweeted an article at me that they re-edited the movie fully. And then, so they Yes, which I didn't even know you could do. They re-edited it
weird.
and reshot the movie, I guess, before and reshot scenes for the movie before they released it for
I've
video
never heard
on
of that
demand.
happening.
Do that? You can't
I
do
know,
that.
you almost sent me into a psychosis.
Well, they
Like,
did with
why
cats. They edited out the buttholes in cats.
Right.
Well, it's different editing out the butthole than re-editing the movie and saying it's the same movie.
No, this
it's
was
like
a
you can't-
butthole-free movie
That's crazy.
from the start. Yeah, there was a new like the girl from The Orphan was in it, and she was not in the movie I saw in theaters, and she was like,
What?
the ending was different. It was an entirely
can't
different
do that.
ending. Yes, and it was not the extended cut. It was not the director's cut. It was just the movie. It was just different. And I literally was sitting here being like, I was like sweating. And I was like, okay. I was like, you're okay. You're okay.
Like
I was
pacing around your house, like,
no, literally.
what is happening?
Yeah, I was like, maybe you fell asleep. Maybe you fell asleep during the movie. It's okay. Maybe you were zoning out or
that would
something.
make me go crazy. That
Yeah,
would,
and
It's like being in an interrogation room and the people being like, you did do it, didn't you? And you being like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. You just can't remember it.
Yeah, I know. And I was
guess
like,
I
okay,
did.
fine.
I
No,
guess.
seriously.
Yeah. I guess I did do it.
Maybe they re-edited the song and just re-released the song as slower. I don't know. People do crazy things.
You have to make it known. You have to say like a different cut. You can't just or
Yes.
a different version of the song. You can't just pretend that's the way it's always been. You can't do it.
No, thank God someone tweeted that article at me because I'm not kidding. Like, I'm walking on thin ice right now. And when that happened to me, I was like, I don't trust myself. I don't trust anything anymore. But yeah, so maybe fingers crossed they just re-edited the song.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it was a
so
hard
You
wild.
can't
night. Yeah, it
remix
was
a
hard
movie.
night.
You can't remix a movie. You can, but you better put the remix at the bottom of it. You better say
tell
Escape
me.
Room the remix.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So
Okay. Next message.
talk about trauma.
Hi, this message is from Webcrawlers. This is Amber Leah from Oregon. Again, I got jumbled on my last message, so I'm going to
She sent a
try
first
to
message, but I didn't play it.
start
She
over.
said to just play it.
This is week number 2 of asking you guys to cover the Ketty cabin murder,
yeah,
and
that's
I'm going
right.
to give
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys your little tidbit of info
We're planning
for
on
the
doing
week.
it.
So, Susan Sharp was the mother. She had 5 children. Her oldest daughter, Sheila, was the one who basically discovered the murders the next day. She had stayed at a friend's house overnight and came home to find her mother, her brother John, who was the oldest son, and her brother John's best friend was Dana Wingate. He was murdered as well. And then her sister Tina was missing. Now, the weirdest part about all this, and it's like the part that creeps me out the most, is when she came home, obviously this murder was horrific. Like, there had to be so much noise, so much screaming. I mean, there was blood all over the walls. It just was a very horrific and just insane murder, okay?
Yikes.
The weirdest part about this whole thing is her youngest brothers were in the back room, sound asleep. They slept through the entire murders. And we're talking about, like, these cabins are, like, not very big at all. You know, like, they're little dinky, like, very thin wall cabins, like, old style, you know, like, resort type, you know, because it's a resort town. So the whole, you know, it's really creepy to think that not only did her 2 youngest brothers, but they had a friend staying the night as well. And the other creepy part is that friend that stayed the night, Justin, he is the stepson of one of the main suspects of the murder. So, it would kind of make sense on why he wasn't touched. Okay, if you guys would like to do an interview with me, I would love that. I would love to, like, talk to you guys because, like, seriously, you're, like, my heroes. So, yeah. La, la, la. Bye.
Okay, sounds like a complicated story.
Yeah, how interesting.
Yeah, we'll do what we have. It's planned to do an
Yes.
episode. Okay, next message.
Hey, this message is for the web crawlers. I'm calling about the LuLaRoe episode you just did. I also just watched the documentary. Big fan. I've been like following this story for a long time because my sister used to sell LuLaRoe.
Ooh.
I don't have all the details, so I'm kind of afraid to ask her at this point. I'm sure she's really embarrassed, but she was like really into it. And I know that at one point she did go to Tijuana. Well, she went to Mexico. I don't know where, but I think it was Tijuana to get the stomach surgery.
Oh my
so,
God. Stop.
And she was not like a big seller by any means. I don't think she was like that high up. I don't think she had that many people below her. So that definitely permeated that culture pretty quickly.
Wow.
In a pretty big way. But I mean, she had a whole shed in her backyard that she called her Lula shed, where she like did all her Facebook lives and everything. And it was like insane. Like for a moment, it was insane. I don't think she ever actually made that much money on it. But yeah, I don't know all the deep, dark details, unfortunately. I might ask and follow up. But mostly I just want to say that like the Tijuana stomach stapling thing was very real. She very much did it. And my whole family was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? But she did it. Can't say that it works that well, but she did it.
Oh,
anyway,
damn.
So keep it up. Bye.
What was that text group called? The Tijuana
Skinnies or something.
Tijuana Skinnies.
Damn.
Wow. That's crazy. Just imagine getting surgery already is a crazy thing, but imagine going to another country where like
why
you might not speak the
Tijuana?
language.
You can't even
It's
drink
cheap.
the water.
It's cheap. Okay. Next minute.
Web crawlers, hello, this is Joran.
Hi.
I was just wondering if anybody else, when they are dialing the number, if they're sort of slowly singing the jingle. Anyway, I do that each time I call. It's fun. This is just sort of a question, maybe to spark a little conversation. I don't know. I'm wondering if there are any like specific individual movie scenes that from movies you saw when you were a kid that like absolutely scared you to death and they're still with you to this day. I don't, it's just a random thought, and I thought this was the place to bring this thought. For me, I guess I was in high school. I watched the movie Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. I saw that before I watched the show, which is weird. But anyway, I love the movie. And there is the scene for anybody who has seen it. This doesn't ruin anything. But when Laura goes into her bedroom and she looks behind or looks at her dresser, and then Bob comes out and he's making just a silly kind of menacing face and his hands are up just in a silly way. But holy shit, somehow that David Lynch is so good at being scary. Lame story? Maybe it is. Oh, and then I was going to mention, I was in middle school. Hopefully I wasn't any older than that. But my friend had a record of the first Black Sabbath album. And the cover of that just scared me. If you haven't seen it, you can Google it. It's just this sort of woman standing in a field, and it looked like, holy shit, they found a witch and took a picture of her. And I don't know. Again, just sort of ridiculous fear that it instilled in me. And I can look at the album cover now. I'm okay. I'm a grown man. I'm a big boy, and I can look at that. But for a while, like I didn't want to look at that guy's record collection anymore. After I saw that. Anyway, I don't know. Do you have anything like that? Okay. Boyoyoing. And farewell. Have a great week. Bye.
Good question.
I was terrified of Large Marge in the Pee Wee Herman movie. Like, terrified.
Yeah. There was this movie, I don't remember the name of it, and it might have been like a made-for-TV movie. And it was about this woman who like divorced her husband, and then like he died, but then like he came back to her house, and like she was remarried, and this guy like locked them in the basement, and then they were in the basement for like a week. And then when he let them out of the basement, the whole house was like this maze of he was just like building walls.
my God.
And then eventually, like, when the wife was, like, trying to escape, like, she kept crawling into these spaces. And then one of the spaces ended up being a little box. And it ended up being a coffin where he buried her alive. So she was, like, in this box, like, hitting it. And, like, dirt was falling. It was... What? I don't know what that movie was if someone else has seen that. But terrified me.
There were a lot of weird kids movies back in the day that were like made for TV, like, or just like straight to video. Like there was one like about Snow White that I remember being really dark and terrifying. But like the Roger Rabbit scene with like the melting boots or whatever, or like
yes,
that was always horrible. And then like the Black Hole Sun music video always freaked me out a lot.
Yeah, their faces.
Stuff like that, like 90s, just like, it was they just knew how to like make things that were like a little off center, where as a kid you were like, whoa, that isn't right. Like there's something off.
Yeah. Yep.
This Black Sabbath album cover is scary.
It is. I know which one he's talking about. The Grateful Dead bears always scared me.
Really?
There was just like too many of them.
It's too many bears.
Up in the circle. I don't know.
Too many bears for you.
There's too many of them.
Okay. Next voicemail.
This message is for the web crawlers.
Hello.
Peanut butter goes on everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything goes on me.
Oh, I like it.
Peanut butter on some cauliflower. It's some sriracha and cheese.
Sriracha and cheese.
Make it cheesy.
Yes.
Bake the cauliflower first. Don't make it mushy. And fucking move it. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. How
wow. Yes. Wow.
I said peanut butter, bitches. Remix that.
lovely. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Another one.
Great.
Web crawlers, I am so sorry for my last message. I forgot that some people are allergic to peanut butter.
Oh my God.
And instead they eat sun butter of the sun, and it makes me question things.
Okay.
What is going on?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice. Nice little,
Next message. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Crawlers, I'm just calling to confirm that the TV show What We Do in the Shadows is, in fact, genius, hilarious, perfectly written, perfectly performed, and that everyone should be watching it. Really trying to get a cult following going because I don't want to see it go away. So I'm just echoing Allie's thoughts on it, I guess. Maybe embellishing a bit. Love your show. Bye.
I love What We Do in the Shadows. It is so funny.
So funny.
And ever since someone said that you are Nadia,
I know.
I can't not see it.
It wasn't just one person who said that to. I was like, I started watching What We Do in the Shadows, and then I got 30 replies being like, oh my God, you're Nadia.
Yeah.
I see
haven't
it.
seen it. I gotta watch
Oh,
it.
you would
it's
love it.
so funny.
It's really funny.
It's really good.
Okay, next message.
Hey, web crawlers. First of all, every time I call, it like rings a bunch of times before it goes to the message, and every time I'm like, what if somebody answers? Anyway, this is Rosie, by the way. I called you before about having sleep paralysis, where like I have a dream that I'm waking up and walking around, and then I realize I'm still asleep, and it starts over and over and over again. And I just realized last night that I haven't had it since like April or May. And I moved out of my mom's house July, and I started a new job in June. So I'm like, what if it has something to do with like my mom's house or the house of the people that I used to work at? Because I used to be a nanny. I'm still a nanny, but at a different house.
But I haven't had sleep paralysis. But also, you know what? I just realized I also haven't been taking naps. And naps are the reason that I have it. So you know what? Scrap it. I solved it. It's not spooky at all. Okay, well, goodbye.
Well, she solved that mystery.
Solved it. Sometimes you just got to talk it out.
Solved.
Hi, this is Marcos for Web Crawlers. So I meant to call last week when this actually happened, but I procrastinated. Okay, so last week I had this weird day, right? It's kind of, I don't know, maybe a synchronicity, maybe just high strangeness, who knows. I'm getting ready for work, and me and my parents are having breakfast, and I see out the window behind our dining room table that there's these 3 deer kind of grazing in our yard, moving over to our neighbor's yard, like not too strange, whatever. We have a lot of deer, but it's 3 does. Okay. I'm at work, and I'm a delivery driver for Amazon. I'm at work, and then I drive maybe like an hour and a half away to where my deliveries are. And within the first few houses that I stop at, it's kind of in a little bit of a wooded area as well. So I see something moving out of my passenger side window, and it's 3 deer. All does, again, just like at home. So like, okay, maybe, I don't know, there's a lot of deer out. Maybe does travel in 3s. I don't know much about deer. And so that's not too weird. The end of the night rolls around, and I'm at one of my last houses that I'm making a delivery at. By this point, it's gotten dark. And I stop at this house, and I see these figures, and I take a closer look, and it's 3 deer, 3 does, all moving in a pack, just like before. Super, like, that's weird, right? Like, that's really weird. Like, that's not just me.
That is weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wanted to call in and see what you guys think about it. Allie, you're our numerology girl. I'm counting on you. I'm refusing to look this up until you get a chance to, because I trust you. What does it mean? 333 deer. Is there some meaning, some symbology of what a deer means? What's the universe trying to tell me? Let me know. Thanks. I'll let you know if I see anything else weird today at work. Bye. Super weird.
Well, when I think of the number 3, I think of transition. So like Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or like Mother, Maiden, Crone. So like transitioning through time or different eras. So maybe you're transitioning from one era of your life to another. Deers, I just Googled, represent innocence, kindness, grace, and good luck. So
it's good luck.
Yeah, maybe you're transitioning into a time where you're going to be receiving luck or love, or maybe there's a relationship that's transitioning. Maybe you're going to get married.
Wow.
Maybe you're about to get engaged.
Put some names on some chestnuts and throw them in the fire. Like
That's my
hazelnuts.
prediction. Yeah, put some hazelnuts in a fire and see what nut explodes.
Hi, this is Marcos for the Web Crawlers again. I actually forgot to mention that there was another deer that day.
Uh-oh.
Not one of the 3s.
Well, now we're fucked.
When I was driving on the freeway, there was this little baby, what are they called? Fawn? I call them Bambies. I know they're called, I think a baby deer is a fawn, but I call them Bambies. And he was crossing the freeway, and it was so sad. I hope he made it over safely. I didn't see him get hit, so like hopefully he's cool, he's chilling. But yeah, there was that deer. And also, I forgot because I was caught up with the deer. I delivered to at least one house that day that did have the house number 333. It might have been 2. I don't remember. Honestly, it all just feels like a fever dream. It was a super weird day. I've been listening to a lot of like horror podcasts, so I was in a weird headspace to begin with. But yeah, does that add anything, or what could it all mean, Allie? I'll be tuning in. Can't wait. Thanks. Bye.
What does it all mean?
Maybe just have faith that you'll always get safely to your next destination.
Ooh, that's nice. Great. Okay, moving on.
Hi, it's Jake again, the CNA. You guys played my voicemail. I sounded so nervous and terrible, so I got to send in a better one. I used to work at Red Lobster.
Ooh,
And that's like a throwback to that old Red Lobster episode you guys did about the endless crab disaster.
hell yeah.
Endless shrimp sucks big dick, let me tell you.
Oh.
I bet.
I was the manager, and yeah, so much waste and just awful people. Anyway, I really wanted to call and tip you guys on to something that I really think goes with the show and might even somewhat explain synchronicities and stuff like that. Ology, which is a real word, and morphic fields. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but there's this guy, the scientist. He wanted to know why monarch butterflies can fly 3,000 miles back to South America to reproduce, and how sea turtles go right back to the beach that they were born on, even after being gone for years, decades. Why dogs seem to know when their owners are coming home. It's the power of thought and the combined power of a species thought, like the combined power of human consciousness on the planet is basically influencing things in ways we can't see or detect. This is something I've actually sort of kind of believed before I even knew there was words for it, but like I there's got to be something like going on. Our brains aren't just like, not all that energy is stored in our skull. It's giving off something. Still of the show, the funniest thing is when Allie drops like a really good fuck. It's just always really funny. I don't know why.
That's the end of that message.
Awesome. I love it.
Fuck.
Really good fuck.
Oh, wait, there might be a part 2.
Hey, web crawlers. It's Jake again. I got cut off, but I just needed to do one more thing. La, la, la.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
It is the thing about sea turtles is so crazy to me because, the beach that they're born on, they will go out, swim in the ocean for decades, and then they will return to the same exact location where they
so
were hatched.
insane.
That's
so crazy.
Bananas. You're in an ocean. How do you know where the hell you are?
Yes, it's insane.
Hello, this message is for the web crawlers. My name's Phil. I've left a couple emails. So I work at a cemetery. I don't want to say graveyard because I think that's weird, but yeah, I work at a cemetery and I mow most of the time.
Ooh.
So I'll be mowing any one of the 13 and 14 sections we have here, and the wind will be blowing a certain direction. And every time I go down or up, the wind will blow and all the grass clippings will go in my face. Now I'll go to another section and be mowing in the complete opposite direction, and the wind has changed to blow grass clippings in my face. No matter what way I go, it always happens in one of the directions that I am driving. It's really odd. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if spirits are mad that I'm running their graves over with a lawnmower,
I think
or
they
if
are.
it's just some weird coincidence. Not like it's on a crazy hilled area or anything like that. And I didn't know wind direction can change so many times within such a small period of time. So yeah, it's odd. I don't know why. It's a little creepy. But that's it. Hope you guys are having a great day, and can't wait to hear the next episode. Love you all.
I think you nailed it. The spirits are angry that you're plowing over their graves. They're like, hey, keep it down up there.
Yeah. Turn it
I'm
down
trying
a
to
notch.
sleep. Next message.
Hello, this message is for the web crawlers. This is Phil again,
Hello.
the guy that works at the cemetery.
Yes.
So today is September 29th, and as I've told you before, I'm behind on the episodes. On my way home, I was listening to the mailbag episode from September 9th.
and you guys were talking, well, not you got girls, but people calling in were talking about peanut butter M&Ms, and as that was being said, I was eating a bag of peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of weird, because the way I took home is not a way I normally take, and I never stopped at the gas station that I stopped at to get the peanut butter M&Ms. So it's like a synchronicity, and never really had that happen before ever since I've been listening to the podcast. So that's been happening. So yeah, maybe I'll call back and tell you guys about the haunted house I grew up in. It wasn't really haunted. There was one ghost, but there was a couple encounters that I had and my brothers had. So maybe I'll go back and tell that story. But for now, I'll just leave you hanging. Hey, have a good one. Later.
Wow, we are subconsciously influencing people to buy peanut butter M&Ms.
Seriously, that's wild.
Okay, next message.
Hey, web crawlers. This is Daniel.
Hi. Yay.
I have been really enjoying the spookier than usual mailbags. I don't know. I guess it just seems like there's something in the air, you know, the crisp fall wind. So yeah, I was reminded on the Discord, there was like a conversation about severed feet and shoes, I think in
Yes,
Canada.
there is. Oh my God.
And that led me to remember this like kind of minor ghost story from the house I grew up in. It's the house that my parents still live in now, and that's where you know, that story that I told on a episode a while ago about the red-haired boy that happened there. So same place. I shared a bedroom in that house until I was about 16 with my older brother. It was like really small. It was like 9 by 12, I think. So we had bunk beds in there. It's the only way you could fit more than one bed in. And at the foot of the bunk bed, I always slept on the bottom because I was the little brother. And there was a window like at the foot of the bunk bed, and there were blinds over it to like if you really wanted to make it dark. But then over the blinds, there was this more decorative kind of gauzy, maybe not lacy, it's not the right word, but it was kind of like a sheerish curtain that was kind of like not.
I can see it.
It's not something that anyone would probably put in their house today. It was very ugly, I guess. But anyway, so and another important piece of context is that like my parents, I think the whole time I've lived there, and even till today, I can think of maybe 4 times that they've opened a window in that house to like let a breeze through, you know.
Wow.
They were usually closed, and they usually only opened them like if we were doing like some deep spring cleaning. So I just remember like that window was, if you looked at it, you were looking into the backyard. And on a lot of nights, I remember seeing like a really bright light coming through the window, like brighter than it would normally be. And I would just watch the curtains, and they would start to kind of move and billow as if there were wind blowing them. And this is another one of those things that I talked to my brother about like later in life as adults. He was like, oh yeah, I remember that too. And then I was like comparing details with him about it one night, and I was like, oh yeah, this one time specifically, and I think it only happened once that I can remember. I remember seeing what appeared to be like a pale, thin leg poking out from behind the curtains. And it was, you know, the sheer kind of lacy fabric of the curtain was kind of draped over, like maybe to the knee, and then that's where it broke through, and you could see the rest of the leg and the foot.
Ew.
And
there's a part 2.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, not a pale leg.
It's Daniel again. I'm very sorry. I really thought I would get through that within 4 minutes, but I even had notes, so I'll try to make this second one really brief. So anyway, so I see this, you know, just white, pale leg and foot, and it was like, the only way I can describe it is like, it seemed like it was like feeling the ground beneath it, like kind of like tapping, like I remember the kind of tapping on the floor gently, like what you might do to like just lightly touch your foot into a pool to like see what the water temperature is.
Oh
kinda
my
like that,
God.
but,
I
like,
hate it.
repeatedly. And yeah, and then, you know, it seemed to just be kind of disappearing through the closed window, you know, above the thigh. You know, I never saw the rest of the body. The window was never opened or anything like that. And that was the one difference that my brother and I had in our recollection of like this type of thing. And he said he never saw that. So anyway, yeah, that's it. Sorry to get into one, but yeah, happy spooky October to everybody out there. Okay, thanks. Bye. Honk, honk.
Oh, that is
That's so
creepy.
disgusting. That's so scary. I hate feet.
Oh, just a little pale, like just like tapping to touch the floor a little. Ugh.
Tap, 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 tap.
Okay, here's
Okay.
our next message.
Hi, this is for web crawlers. I'm driving home right now. I live in Denver, and I have a currently an hour and 15-minute commute. But here's the catch, is that I get motion sick while I drive.
No.
So
While
I'm
you
gonna call my
drive.
mom and talk to her so that I don't throw up, but she didn't answer. So I'm going to call you guys. I'm going to tell you about my new job. Well, vaguely, because I don't want to put everyone on blast. So I got this new job working for an organization, and there is a woman who works at the front desk, and I think it would be really good for us to develop some lore for her because sweet as can be, also kind of spooky. So her name is Gertrude. She has been with the company or the organization for literally 50 years. So more than double my age. And she just sits at the front desk, and I can see, I have the only office that's in the hallway that sees her. So as soon as I step at my door, I look over, she's just staring at me. And all she
God.
does, if you're in the hallway, she will only look at you. She won't work on her computer, she won't make phone calls. She just has these like big blue eyes, and she just stares you down. So I don't know. She doesn't really say anything. I'll walk around, she'll just keep watching me. And I feel like she's trying to communicate something, but maybe doesn't have the words. And I just think that there's a lot going on there. So I don't know. Maybe if you guys wanted to write some Gertrude fanfic, I really appreciate that. And just yeah, if anyone knows how to not throw up while driving, that'd be really cool. I do have a KFC cup here in case of emergency. I love my life. Okay, bye.
What did she say she has?
She has a
geez.
KFC cup instead of an emergency in case of an emergency.
It's that intense. Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
See, I get motion sickness if I'm like in the passenger seat, like reading or like looking at my phone. I can't do that. But if
Yeah.
I'm driving, it's fine though.
I'm fine most of the time. Wow, that would
sucks.
really suck. God, I'm sorry.
And that's a long commute to deal
An
with
hour
that.
and
That's really
15
wild.
minutes?
oh God.
Dang. Well, it was all Gertrude's fault.
Seriously.
Let's play one more today.
Okay.
And save the rest of this for next week.
Hello.
Oh,
This here
Jeb.
message is for the web
save the
crawlers.
best for last.
This here is Jeb. How are you? I know you're all backed up. This here is the 1st of October,
Oh.
2021.
Feels like
the year of our
2025.
Lord. Anyway, I was listening to a couple of your mailbag episodes there, and then there was, first off, there was that young lady who called in talking about the shirts that hide the bare belly and the man boobs, and she said they don't work. I could have used that message about 48 hours earlier. Anyway, and then there was the young lady who made like a 3-part message, and then she got, at the end, she got a phone call from her boyfriend or husband or something, and she had to go pick him up,
Oh, yeah.
and then the phone cut off.
Oh, yeah.
I was just wondering,
That's funny.
did she get that feller, or is he still waiting for a ride? Because Maxie and I could
jump in the old Ford 150 and go pick him up because I'm very concerned for his safety. All right, then. Hi, Allie.
Hey,
How
Jeb,
are you?
I love you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. All right, then. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
Wow.
I love Jeb.
Yeah.
Controversial character to some, but my favorite.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Controversial
Not
because
to me.
he's too awesome. I don't know.
Intimidatingly awesome, I guess.
Well,
All right,
that's it
guys.
for
That's
today.
it for today. We're almost caught up. Hope you guys are in the Halloween spirit. I am Allie. Screamo.
I'm Murderlissa Stettin.
Malicious Melissa.
Malicious Stettin.
Militia.
And I'm producer Maria.
All right, guys.
Ooh.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.